Good evening. Welcome to episode number 13. Unlucky number 13 because Pirate is useless and has gone out on his bike. So welcome along to another week of VWDRCTV. If you're watching on Facebook or if you're watching this on Catch Up on YouTube or Rumble, welcome along. This is our weekly show where we just get to know our VWDRC members just that little bit more. And obviously now that we're into the racing season, we start to discuss what's going on with different rounds and stuff like that. Obviously last week we spoke to Dave Crowhurst and to whoever was the winner of VW Sportsman, Jake Fronda. There we go, Jake Fronda. I can't believe that was last week. He was sitting in the truck. That was last Wednesday, I believe. And obviously this weekend, as we start to lead up to round number 2 of the VWDRC Championship, yeah, I thought we'd go live. So, as I said, Pirate's not going to be joining me this evening. He's a leather-clad. But, of course, we've got Ed Keech joining us on the show. He's a little bit excited, I can tell you that. The lad's been working hard on his car, and today was finally the day that he managed to get it firing up, ready for the weekend. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Of course, as usual, all of our rounds, as you can see there, in case you've just joined along and you found us, VWDRCTV, these are our rounds coming up. We have our 6 rounds of the main championship, and we have our 3 rounds of heads up. And of course, VWDRC Drag Days is our own private event coming up in June, but more about that as we go along, of course. But, I mean, so straight away, I'm just going to bring Ed into the room. As you can hear, the kettle is boiling in the background because the child decided to come in just as the stream started. It was perfectly timed. How you doing, Smiler?
Well, good. Had a good day. Good weekend.
Had a good day. So obviously you've been working hard today. Obviously you don't want your workmates to see this, but I'm guessing you had a busy lunchtime.
Yeah. Most of it was caught over lunch and in breaks and that. To be honest, it was just a lot of work at the weekend. I put probably over 10 hours in over the weekend just to do the last few bits that, you just think you just got to finish off those last couple of bits. It's probably an hour here and then 10 hours later you're still grafting. No,
that's it. Well, yeah, I think you kind of underestimated the job that you had to do this winter.
Yeah, massively. I think you posted the other day, didn't you? It's like typical drag race for doing a month's worth of work in a week for something they did about 6 months ago. It just fell into that category.
But it looks good. You've done a really nice job.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. The last bit's a bit rushed because I really wanted to make spring speed, and you were telling me off for not making Festival of Power and told me I had to make spring speed, and I really thought we had 3 weeks between the 2 events, not 2. So. Yeah, but it's done now. It's done. It fired. It runs. I've been absolutely buzzing all day, just checking things, and I've just literally logged the front end back on now. I've been making plans all day, booking caravans out. Booked the test day Friday at Pod, which there is still spaces for if anybody else wants to go and do the test day. Limited to 100 cars. Well worth doing.
Nice. Now, a couple of people are saying your voice is all crackling up. Is it rubbing on your beard as you're talking?
I don't know, I'm in my AirPods, so is that any better?
No.
Is it all right for you? Or?
I can put up with it, but it's where everyone else is saying Egg is cracking up.
Cracking up.
He's fully scrambled. Oh,
But
that's
I bet.
brilliant. Try them. Or is this a different set? You're a baller and you've got 2 sets of earpods. Rob Lindsay says you need to shell out on a better microphone.
Oh,
I'll let you just
fucking
connect to that.
hell.
While you're connecting to that, of course. So, yeah. Hopefully, a load of people have been basically sitting at home reading the elapsed times and hopefully enjoying that. I actually started filling mine out this weekend while we're at Santapod Raceway. Obviously, I didn't have much time during the race meeting, but I actually sat down. I had my heads up paperwork and I had my my round 1 and round 2 all stuff written out. I was filling out. It's pretty good. Let's see if Ed's back in the room. Talk, Ed. You go. Go to settings, and then on settings, press audio, and then choose your earphones. You're supposed to be an IT man, you are. Oh well. So literally, VWDRC episode 13 is going to be an unlucky episode, no doubt. Well, while Ed is doing it, I went, never mind me, never video me again. Look, I hated watching it. No, Mr. Blogster, you're a superstar. You were in there perfectly. In fact, I liked the one part where you had just beaten. I think it was you'd just beaten Noel, and then you had Ben Mace in the background cheering you on. I enjoyed that bit. No, I think the videos come well together. Well, in fact, obviously, it took me a while to get the videos done for the latter rounds. In fact, round 4 of qualifying actually only got uploaded today because Santapod lost the feed on at the weekend. They had some issues with the feed, so I managed to get that footage today and put it out. Those going up on Rumble will be coming up in probably a day's time or something like that. But yeah, let us know what you think of the footage that we put together for VWDRC TV for round 1 of the championship. Hopefully, I mean, they're out there to get people to get to know you. Phil said Phil could be worse. Luke basically jumped on me both times I was on camera. Yeah, exactly. That's what it's all about. I can hear you
Hello.
now.
Is that any better?
Oh, hallelujah, hallelujah. See, IT Ed has sorted it. So just saying, obviously, Ed, you didn't make round 1 last weekend, so you were probably sat at home when you were not working on the car, or if you're working on the car, you had it in the background listening in.
Yeah, I had the live stream on literally the whole weekend, crying into my pillow that I wasn't there and was missing out. But it was kind of a needs much situation.
It was, and it was a perfect weekend that you missed out on. I'm going to rub it in every little bit. I'm just going to dig.
I totally wasn't sat there thinking, God, I hope it rains later.
Oh, I only thought that after Jacob beat me.
Yeah. I'm sure he won't mention that again, though.
Oh, I'm sure he'll never mention it again until this weekend. But I think we've solved that issue. We'll move on to this weekend. So now, Ed, you joined the club. God knows how many years ago now. Was it
13? I think I joined.
Oh, that's about when I was going in there. Now, obviously, when you joined the club, I haven't got these photos in order because I literally just slung them on earlier. In fact, the one I'm looking for is typically not there. Where is it? Let me find it.
It's going to be an awful no beard picture of me.
Nah, yeah, possibly. No, this was when you first joined because basically, was it Bug Jam? You just wandered into the pits, and I think you bumped into Jacob, and ended up leaving the weekend and buying this.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think it was Big Bang actually. But yeah, I literally heard about VWDRC. I think I come into it on Facebook, and it was like cheapest way to get into motorsport. And I was like, I like motorsport. I really want to do it, and I really can't afford it. Had a look and thought this looks viable. See what everybody's like and that. And everybody just kept saying, just come down and meet us in the pit. So did that. I think bumped into Jacob, chatted to him for half hour, an hour. Went home, eBay, bought that. Thought that's orange and Larry. That's got to be fit for the job. Yeah, took it run what you run. It ran all right. And then started cutting it apart, and I waited all year just so I could like do a full season because I wanted to have a good go at my rookie season, buy me race gear and all that stuff, as I'm sure a lot of people have. And yeah, turned up next year and did really well and set standards really high that I can't achieve again.
That's it. I mean, I didn't have time to crop it, but I found the photo from PVW. Look how look how young you look. I think you did the triple in 2014, didn't you? You won events, you won the championship, you won Rookie of the Year,
Driver of the Year,
Driver of the Year as well.
Yeah, and the Shaky Championship. Yeah.
So literally cleared the board.
Yeah, and never got anywhere near it again. I think I might have had a third or a fourth in the championship. It's always been like there or thereabouts, but
you have some. You have won some other events along the way, haven't you?
Yeah. I've done all right in a few events. I've come Shaky runner up. I think the last year that we was at Shaky, Pink Ranger forever.
Yes.
See that was sport that time.
That was quite legendary, Jan, because obviously as Shaky was closing, it was like literally. I think it was between you and Jacob.
Yeah.
When it come down to the championship, and it was either the Pink Power Ranger or the Eternal Power Ranger.
And I lost by 10 points because I didn't enter the first round because I couldn't make it for some reason or another.
So you did right. That was the thing about the Shaky Championship. Obviously, we only ever had 2 rounds there, and because both of them were on a bank holiday, it was always guaranteed to rain at least one of the weekends.
Yeah. And with no track drive facilities of that, it was a long wait, weren't it? Or at least rains on Sunday, get to lunchtime, everybody go home.
Yeah, no, that's it. I mean, we had snow, we had rain, sleet, everything at Shaky. You could turn up and it would be perfectly fine.
It's always that picture of you sat next to Sexbug under the umbrella while somebody was chatting. I think it was Vos laying under the car chasing the fuel pump. He was sat next to it in the sun.
Obviously, no, that's exactly that. I was keeping his legs dry. I think you're fine. Yeah, no, we arrived and we had an issue with the fuel pump. So obviously we jacked the car up. Vos was straight underneath, swapping the fuel pump. I just sat there with an umbrella as it basically just started to snow, and we were like, "What the hell is going on here?" That was when we used to take the Golf in the truck. Because I remember after we did that, we were sitting in the truck. We pulled up like the what you call it, the tail lift as like a little barn door sort of thing, and just looked out as it either rained or snowed for that weekend. No, that was good time. I mean, we were chatting to we were sitting in the barn yesterday, and I was chatting to Chris, who used to be like the chief starter at Shaky, and we were all just sitting there going, "Yeah, we still miss it." I mean, we had some real good times there. I'm quite sad that like Lily only got to go Shaky. I think the once she popped along and she was running off with Dave Crowhurst's kids and stuff like that, and they kind of missed out on that because obviously Santa Pod's it's a little bit busier. You can't you can have your kids there, but it's not like at Shaky we used to just release them into the wild and go off you go.
Oh, Santa Pod's mega, but like you got to have a bit of contrast, didn't you? And it was like opposite ends of the spectrum, and no one ever went to a Shaky and had a bad time, did they?
No, that's it. Well, the only person who didn't have a good time at Shaky would be Robert Lindsay because he never ever went. We never actually got him to come to Shaky. He's disgraceful, and obviously, so he missed it. He missed it and missed out.
Shaky, like me, was the only time I had to go like more than 10 miles from my house to get there as well.
That's it. And I remember towing your wobbly ass caravan there.
Oh yeah, anything for a bed to sleep in, eh?
Yeah,
I remember my wife
it.
moaning at me for the snoring you were doing the other end of the caravan. I'll go wake him up. I was like, you can't. He's had a beer. He's asleep. That's him till the morning.
That's it. I'm out for the evening. No, it's good. So obviously you joined the club, as you said. You bought a VR6 off eBay. Then went back when they were cheap as well. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think it was like £750.
Oh, bargain.
Complete, full interior, everything. Like it was, stripped it out, sold everything that was no good, and bought some wheels off you, I think, because they had some decent tyres, because the ones I had were like slicked. I mean, I think this recovery truck turned up with it outside my house, and tilted the back of the recovery truck, and it just slid straight off.
Nice. Now, if I remember correct, you were one of the people that we told you to buy slicks first, and you ignored us.
Oh, yeah. Biggest mistake. I could have made. I got this bugbear in my head. Get a diff. Get a diff. Diff will make all the difference. They're the business. This, that, and the other. I'll get slicks at some point. Because in my head, I was thinking slicks are like consumable. It's going to be the same amount of money for a set of slicks it is with diff. Once I've got a diff, that's pretty much it done. And I put the diff in. It was good. It did what it was supposed to do. But then when I finally put my hand in my pocket and got a diff, got slicks, well, it was like over a second off my ET. Pro times all day, easy peasy. I mean, I did manage the pro time on treads with the diff and all the rest of it. I think I went 12.97 in the end, which, was a nice little milestone to it. But I put the slicks on and I was like, oh my God, I've wasted like a year.
That's it. I mean, we spend a lot of time telling newbies, literally, like, it's like, don't go all out for power, because a lot of people like joining up and just like, I need 400 horsepower. And you just like, you don't. So have a nice like 250 and then put some slicks on. Or you don't even need that much. Just slicks make life so much better.
Yeah, well, I put the Charger on the second year, didn't I? I love the Charger, and that must have been a bit north of 250, 260, but just wheel spin, could never get grip, couldn't do anything with it, and couldn't be consistent off the line and that. And it was great going fast, but weren't winning races at the end of the day.
Nah, that's it. Well, it just made you inconsistent.
Yeah.
Right, Daniel Bauscher says, I know the feeling. The best choice we made on the Polo. That's a good question for you. Obviously, because I've been making the videos this week, I noticed Colin, obviously, he always goes, here's Daniel Brioche. And Darryl was like, he's like, does he like being called that? And Colin goes, yeah. I asked him, and he said, yes, I like being called Brioche. It's much better than Bauscher. He's like, is it really? And he was like, you might as well just call him Baguette. And then obviously, and then Daniel's going to be really sad that I reminded him of this, but then he read lit, and then Colin goes, well, it doesn't matter what I call him, because I won't be calling him again.
Oh, I was going for he had a blinding weekend hitting those 12s and that, I was
He did. And that's it. And he's historically the first person to run a 12 in Sportsman in competition legally.
Yeah,
because I did it at Shaky and almost won the event running 12s all weekend, but basically because I made everyone else break out. And I remember Richie Webb coming over and he was like, how comes you keep winning in Sportsman and you're running 12s? And I was like, well, there's a little loophole there. I was like, I can get away with it. And I'm trying to find a photo on here. As you said, is this one? Yeah, that's when it was suited. Look how look, we got a funny car in the back there as well. Oh, good times.
Look how neat. So that's when that was literally when the Supercharger was coming off, I think.
Okay, so yeah. I mean, we decided to do this about 10 minutes before we were going live, so I literally threw whatever I could together just to make it on there. So but yeah,
I think that was just it was coming off, because I spoke to last week's Sportsman winner Jake about his turbo setup, because that's where obviously mine came from, and we sort of done a deal, and I was like, right, we'll get this off and sold, and I sort of advertised it, and my Facebook Messenger just went absolutely berserk with about 15 people wanting to buy it off me. So that sold instantly, and I went and bought all the kit off Jake, and then probably took about over a year to get it installed into mine. Like pretty slack, but eventually Mr. Gould and Vos and Jacob and just about everybody else I know in the DRC came over and gave me a hand in one way or another, and we got it put together.
Yeah,
and that's it today, is it?
No. I think that's an old photo from last year when you were putting it together. Now, obviously, so as you said, you basically got the whole. It's basically as we spoke to Jake last week. It's basically everything out of Ninor that he ran 11:27, if I am correct. Which
I think he went pretty one in it.
I think possibly
with gas, yeah.
Yeah. He had the nitrous on it at the time. He always had the nitrous on it. We know that because he used to have the little flashy light on the top.
Yeah. so yeah, I've bolted it all to my engine and put the cams in and everything because the engine that came with it had no compression in cylinder 5 for a change. And yeah, I've been down 11.3 last year, having a tinker in that with no gas and that. So hopefully year of the 10 this year.
Nice.
Just not this weekend.
Not well. You never know. Well, Gordy's in the house, so I'm fairly sure myself and Lester pretty much did most of the conversion. Oh, I think they did the heavy lifting work. That's where
They
the
went
army
full
boys came
militia
in.
on it. They turned up and they was like, we need to put that from there into there, and just an hour later it was in.
Oh, that's it. That's it. If only Lester could get his car ready as quick.
Oh, I know, yeah. It's about time we saw him at the
Oh.
track again, isn't it?
He's in Moldova at the moment.
Yeah, I saw James said he got
He's obviously he's like one of the last few that are, of Team Militia that are actually still serving. Obviously, James just like rock climbing and doing stuff like that. Sam's now out. What's his name? Josh is basically just getting married.
Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to seeing Sam's car when he is back together, though.
Yes, that's it.
I've bumped into that a few times down at Ross and Lee's and that's looking a bit special.
No, that's it. It's looking good.
Sam needs to get home from Wales and pull his finger out.
Yes, definitely, I agree. No, it is coming together, and I mean, after he came to, did he come to test day? I think he come to test day, and by the oh no, he come heads up. He come to the heads up round, and he literally just left. He was like, leave. He was like, it was like Cartman. He was like, I need my car running. But it's coming together. It'll be done at some point. You never know. Oh, that does remind me actually. Have you done your drag days entry yet?
Yeah, I'm in. I've paid my deposit.
There you go.
In for Index 12, and hopefully this weekend will be a lot of practicing for Index 12.
You sandbagger.
What are you talking about?
I like it. That's fair enough. I mean, as we said, it's open to anyone. So literally, again, as Ed was talking about, because I literally was speaking to Luis the other day, and I said about Index 12, and he's like, "Oh, what's this class?" And I'm like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "We're on the 13th week of doing this stuff, and I'm having to explain it again." So in case anyone's new to this, obviously we have a private event coming up in June called VWDRC Drag Days. We have free classes that you can enter. Although this doesn't, I actually looked at it, and Index should say 12, shouldn't it? Really. So I need to update that. Now, obviously, these prizes.
For the winner.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Well, not at the moment. Obviously, we have got a date coming up in May that we will put out soon. And obviously, if we haven't got a certain number of entries by that date in May, then obviously those, as we said, when we release the prize fund, obviously that can be subject to change if we don't get the entries. And also the same as, I mean, obviously at the moment we've got 2 days. At the moment I think we've got about 50 people entered, whereas we need to be well over 100. There's a load of club members who I know are probably going, let me get spring speed out of the way, and then we're all good. And then there's no doubt another load of people that are going, oh, let me get door slammers out of the way, and then we'll get entered. But we really need by mid-May to at least use the £25 deposit thing, just so we can kind of work out what classes we've got, how we're going to do qualifying. Because at the moment we're kind of looking at it going, right, we've got ladders. We've got enough for ladders now in the classes, which is good. But we want more cars. So if you're watching out there,
heads up ladders for the heads up classes, or because you can't go out a hat, can you, for this one?
No, we're not allowed to do that because obviously that's a door slammers thing.
Yeah.
So heads up and Index 12, both of them classes are literally done on pro style rules. So number one would, if there's 8 cars, number 1 would get 8, 2 would get 7. So it's in your advantage to obviously try and qualify the best. Now the hardest thing for you, obviously, as you just said, you're going to be you're looking to run 10s, but you're going to enter the 12-second class. So when it comes to qualifying, that's going to be harder because obviously if you end up, say we go to the maximum entry, 40 cars in Index 12, and you're qualifying, and you end up running like 11.8, 11.9, 11.9, and then you get no more qualifiers, you're at the bottom, so you're disqualified. Because it's a 32 car ladder, so 8 people are automatically going on the trailer from those 40. So that's
Yeah.
that's where you got to play it, and then obviously, so you might get to like say we give you 3 qualifiers, you do 2 qualifiers, and you run 11s, and then on the last one you're like, sorry, I'm going to back off just to make sure I'm qualified. You might back off too much and end up being on the opposite side of another one of the fast ones.
Oh, Joe, that'd be a nice problem to have. I'm literally at the point today, like the car's running, well chuffed and that, but I haven't even mapped it yet. I'm not going to the dyno or anything. I've booked the test day on Friday, and I'm going to be mapping it at the track. So like Friday is literally make a full pass under power, tick that box. When I've done that, make a full pass under power and try and run a pro time, tick that. When I've done that, I can start worrying about turning the boost up and going too fast, you know.
Yeah.
But we should get there. We got there last year on the old ECU.
Yeah, of course.
Guessing the tune, so.
No, that's it. Well, obviously you started doing your tuning yourself. It was something you wanted to do, wasn't it?
Yeah, just something that piqued my interest. You know, it's like just liking to understand how things work and that. So I saw all them HP Academy stuff that I'm sure most people joining this chat have been spammed with at some point on Facebook adverts or something, and I was like, that sounds really good. And there was this whole thing about it that, you know, it's not magic, it's just science. You just need to understand what's going on. And I went on one of their live YouTube sessions and that, and watched a bit on there and thought, Joe, that actually makes sense. And then they send you discount codes all the time, and I ended up getting some of their courses really cheap, like the fundamentals course. And I sat and watched that, and I thought, actually, do you know what? I really understand this. I think this is something I could probably get my head around. So I committed and bought some more courses and that, and got Jake standalone and that, and just sat there and sort of covered the instructions for that, read through all the information on HP Academy, watched all the videos, and then sat there playing, my laptop all the time, plugging it in, having a go, and yeah, it all just started to make sense. And so far, so good.
That's it. I mean, the ECU that you did get with Jake's car was quite an old one, so you probably would have struggled finding one of the tuners to go, oh, do you want to do this? And then you were like, sod it, I'll learn it myself.
Yeah, there weren't a lot around that do it. Certainly nobody local. I think maybe Ignition Advantages does it down Essex, so I think they're Essex way. But I don't think they're doing a lot of it now. I mean, it really capable ECU. The software looks really old, but it's got no live login, and that's what I couldn't do without. So spoke to ProRace, got a quote from them for EMU Black, because Jake was running EMU Black, and I'd sat and had a good look through his and helped him with his logs and stuff, and just really user friendly, and I got on really well. Then Tom's got one as well, and I was like, well, do you know what? If more of us are getting it, it even makes more sense to go that way. So yeah, got a really good quote from ProRace and bought it at a wiring kit and thought we'll have a go at that. And then back onto HP Academy, quick wiring fundamentals course, and wiring this course and wiring that course, and yeah. Put the loom together.
You've done a good job. Let me find your photo that you just posted. You sent me this one. I'll see. You've done a nice little neat job there.
Yeah, so I done most of that last year for the old ECU, and there's just like a few additions for the new ECU and that. And then, hidden behind that quite well is the untidy bit of the loom that I need to wrap up a bit more. But
that's the best way.
But the engine base comes together really nice. I'm really pleased with it. It's all sheathed and covered up quite well, and if you don't look too closely, it looks neat.
Oh, it does. It does. Oh, it looks
more
like
to the point, it works.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. I love this photo that I took last year of you. Whose idea was it to use the little the lunchbox? Doesn't it say Ed's lunchbox on there or something like that?
It says egg sandwiches inside. So that was basically, I had that little switch panel, and I kept meaning to make a mount up for it, and like fabricating and mounting is not my strong point. And I was like, oh, Joe, I'll cable tie it on here. I'll do something with it at some point. And I just sort of had it floating around near where the nitrous bottle holder is. And when I come out last year, I think it was Bug Jam, I come to the end of the track, and all of a sudden the car died, and I looked down, there was like this little puff of smoke next to me, and I was like, oh no, what's happened? And I've blown a fuse. So I tried another fuse, and it popped that again straight away, and I realised that where I hadn't earthed the back of the connections and the thing was just floating around, it just earthed on the chassis and popped the fuses. So I was like, oh, I need to make a panel for that. And Jake's like, don't worry about it, because he comes to crew for me. I'll sort that for you, no worries. And he was wicked, really. He just went away. He was like, I'll go find some materials, you do this, I'll sort that. And he came back with this lunchbox and just sort of, cut it up, put some rivets in it, fixed it into the car, and it's like now you can open the sides. So you got like an easy access panel to all the wires and the switches and that. And it just, I don't know, I wouldn't change it now. I love it. Little lunchbox with robots on it.
I love that. So he obviously, that was at Bug Jam. He's obviously gone down to one of the stalls, the tat stalls, and gone, do you know what? This is perfect.
Yes. He's just like, yeah, we're going to redneck this. This is how we roll.
No, that's it. That's it. Rednecks did well last weekend. See, I didn't get to put that in the thingy. So normally I had a crappy day at work, so I didn't have a chance to download any photos and stuff like that for News in Brief. But obviously Jake did last weekend with Nigel's car, didn't he? Nigel's Skoda automatic.
Yeah.
Ended up winning Sportsman, and then literally went home and he was like, right, my race car's not ready, sod it, I'm going to go and buy a TTRS.
Yeah, don't need this AMG anymore. Get rid of that.
No, that's it. I like that. So he basically traded in his C63 AMG for a TTRS, and will be he's going to be in pro. That's the thing.
He's definitely going to be in pro, or he's going to be sandbagging the hell out of that.
He amounted all them points in Sportsman, but obviously he's not pro because he wants to get in his other race car, so he can now jump into pro. But yeah, I mean there was an older version TTRS that was running. It was like mid-12s this weekend, and I don't. The way they were coming up to the line, they clearly had never been on the drag strip before either, and I'm pretty sure those like the late model TTRSs are even better. I mean, David Henderson's in the chats now. He's just joined us. He might know. What's it? What are we talking like? A 20 plate, wasn't it? Something like that?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, they're going to have launch control and everything as well, aren't they? And like Jake's going to map it, so that's going to be shifted.
Yeah, so Dave, like a 20 plate TTRS, what sort of quarter mile times have you seen from those? What's it? Daniel says he can still enter Sportsman with 12 seconds. He can, but because it's a new vehicle, he can enter Pro without a cage. Okay,
when Nino's done.
Rob Lindsay just popped into the chat and said, "Don't forget, it's being mapped straight away to about 470 horsepower."
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so yeah. I mean, Dave says they do 10s on a stage 2, so whether that's like a remap or sort of thing. Obviously, you can't change the turbo, but you can put a remap on it. But still, that's going to be a fast car. I don't know if it's going to be. Are TTRS's DSG as well? I'm asking you, but there's quite a few people in the comments who might know. But if he's gone, no, I haven't seen him yet. But yeah, no, I think that would be a nice quick car in pro this weekend. Unfortunately, there you go. Paul Hume says yes, DSG 7-speed. So he's literally, and I bet he's got launch control and stuff like that.
He's got to have launch control, hasn't it? Yeah, so.
That's it. So yeah. Oh well, it's another car in pro. Unfortunately, we lost Dave Crowhurst. He's basically getting a new clutch. He's getting a new clutch for the car, and it wasn't cheap. So he literally said, I want to get the time to get it out and make sure it's right." So
don't blame him.
Except for as I posted the other day, the rest of us in pro were like, "Yes." Number one out. Lee Cordery. Damn it, I'm late. Well, don't forget, Lee, if you or anyone else is just joining in late, you can always go to YouTube or to Rumble to catch up live and see the rest of what had happened. Obviously, Paul is not here because he's out on his bike doing Lycra stuff. So, yeah.
I can't say nothing. I've been doing that bike stuff and you're giving me a hard time over that as well for not doing the race car.
Well, I mean, yeah, we had to get the race car done. That was more importantly. I mean, I went to the caravan yesterday. Was it yesterday? At the weekend, obviously, sleeping at Santa Pod. There's a Lupo Dash on the floor, and there's a bike. So Lupo Dash went out the window. And then the bike, I thought, I can't leave that outside because it's, it was an expensive bike that he's just bought. And it's a horrible bike as well.
Is this his new BMX he got?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's not cool. It's not cool at all. Lee Cordery says he's been busy getting the car plumbed in. Go, sir.
Is Lee?
I'll be honest.
12?
He is, yes.
Because he should be. Because he was running real good numbers for that last week.
He was. I was more impressed that his engine stayed together.
Yeah,
I mean, I think there was quite a few bets going around, not monetary bets, but there was quite a few bets going around the pits because it was literally like, obviously, Lee, you spun a bearing, you cleaned it up a little bit, slapped a new bearing on there, and was like, "I'd just get it through the weekend." And then when I spoke to you, I think I spoke to you after the first qualifier, and you were like, "Bearing's gone again. I'm going to slap another one on, and I'll leave it for eliminations." In fact, you were probably lucky you got knocked out in round one. So
To be
that
honest, I was
probably,
watching at home, and every pass he made, I was like, I don't know how that thing's holding together. He's really lucky that's made another pass. And it was only when I watched the qualifying videos that you posted up. I think you do an interview with him, don't you? And he stood there like with the shells in his hand, like I've got 4 of these from Pro Race, so every run I'm changing it. And I was like,
yeah.
that's commitment right there. That is.
No, it is. It is. Goldie says I lost a £1 bet to Ben Mace. Big money, big money. That's it. No, I was impressed it stayed together, and I'm glad you had a spare one. And obviously, it gives you a chance to hopefully repair that other engine. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what his new engine will do. Obviously, it's going to be on the same map and everything, but it's going to be coming. Right, what else have we got from yours on the photos that you've sent me? So obviously, these are today's photo as of today that you had it up and running.
That was as of 5 minutes before this started.
It was literally, wasn't it? We were just literally in the chat group, and I was like, dude, I was like, do you want to join us? And I thought it was appropriate to have you on because obviously your car was working and you were excited.
Absolutely buzzing all day. But like minutes before that picture, I had to clear like every tool that I own off the roof that's just been placed there throughout. Getting it done and that.
Don't worry about that. It'll look good.
Got to make it look
fine. It'd been fine. Right, so as we roll into this weekend, of course, let's just have a look at some of the points. Jake Fronda, as we were just saying, he is in VW Sportsman there, and he's leading the championship. John Crawford will be really happy to know, like we just said, Jake is most likely moving up to Pro with his brand new purchase. And then we've got literally like Paul Robinson, Darren Walsh is up there as well. I don't know who Justin Volley is. Have he spelt his name? But yeah, we've got a nice mix of names on there. And then, of course, this weekend, we have got at least one newbie joining in. Charlotte Bradford is joining in to VW Sportsman with the Beetle. Cool. She's moved from Junior Dragster, obviously, and the family, well known to the VWDRC, is another one of our long-time families rejoining in with a new generation of racers.
Take a deep breath, VW Sportsman. Here come Junior Dragster again.
That's it. Another Junior Dragster. That's it. I like it as long as they stay in Sportsman.
I tell you what, I fancy Lawrence to do pretty well this year in Sportsman.
Yeah.
Sexbug seems to be, or Thunderbug as it is now, seems to be coming around really well.
He
did really good numbers with that. So
he did mention in the comments that he'd love you to do a rewiring job on it.
What year does he want it?
Wow, who knows? And of course, VW Pro, obviously, and then the same again, VW Pro, Dave Crowhurst is leading the championship, and he's having the race out because he's got his new clutch. Will not have arrived in time.
Don't worry about Jacob this weekend because he stole my crew last weekend because I didn't make it. But
Well, he literally said, he said that to me this morning. Because obviously Goldie's going back to you, and then Jacob was like, "Well, Tom's supposed to be coming to crew for me, but he's basically just kind of turned his phone off." So he's like, "I don't think Tom's turning up." So So if anyone's out there that wants to give Jacob a hand, Jacob might need some crew this weekend. Mr. Mollenkamp, I don't know where you are. I know you're trying to get your car finished, but feel free to come back and join Jacob this weekend because he's going to need a hand. But yeah, no, I'm excited. Annoyingly, I haven't got the entry list loaded up on here for this weekend. But yeah, I'm kind of looking for. Obviously, I haven't looked at the weather. We'll leave that until like a couple of days. Hopefully, it'll be nice and good.
I want it to stay like it looks at the moment.
Oh, do you? Oh, there. Fair enough then. Fair enough. Well, 6 qualifiers. Let's be honest. I always say if you can't do it in 6, then you shit. But I'm not saying that because when we come to the end of Q6 and I'm bottom of the run, that does not stand true.
How many qualifiers do we normally get at Bug Jam, Luke? What's your bug jam record like?
I reckon we've had I reckon Bug Jam we have had about 7 at Bug Jam. Yeah, I think I was like 36. I hate Bug Jam.
How's the dragster? Is that all good for next week? You got anything to do on that?
No, we're all good. I've ordered a couple of bits. I ordered a couple of bits for this weekend. New head gaskets, which I don't plan on using. Alex at the car kitchen he's got 3 of my heads now. One of them will be repaired and skimmed, ready for this weekend. So I've got a spare head, and then he's got to work on
he's got 3 of your heads.
Yeah.
Sure, he hasn't got one of your heads.
No, the damaged ones are yours.
Okay, yeah.
The one that Vos killed was yours. Yeah, no, the one that Vos killed requires a little bit more work because he destroyed the valve seat, so that needs doing. The one we broke European finals. No, I don't dare. I like it just sitting in a box.
I don't blame you. It's such a pretty thing.
No, I will. I know. Well, now we hope. I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but we hope we found each time we're still testing with it. So each time we find a little problem or we have a problem and then we fix the issue, I get a little bit more confident. And I did say at the start of the year, I was like, "Oh, sod it. If I break it, I will slap on the race head." But then, no, I'm not going to risk it just yet. We got a little bit more further away.
Wheels up on a stock motor. Well impressed.
Yes. I'm not though, because annoyingly it's got to the point now where I looked at a video, and obviously the tire basically it wrinkles, and it's not on that last run it didn't wrinkle and then spring. It got to the point where it tripped over itself, which would normally do like tire shake on the big power cars, but except for mine it jumped, and that's what made the wheels come up, down, and then back up again. So again, it's all about finding the perfect tire pressure to work with and making it work. But it's nice to actually see it launching properly. On the videos, it actually looks a little bit quicker now, whereas before it was like, hey.
I don't know, 1.260 foot. I think you're pulling now, isn't it? That's pretty quick.
Yeah, but I said that to Ian. I was chatting to Ian this weekend, and he was like, 1.2. He goes, that's a super gas 60 foot that is. And I was like, cheers, mate. I was like, yeah, but no, he went through a few bits because I was asking him questions about it, and he was like, well, what's your torque converter stator and all this, and I was like, And he was like, what's your peak torque? What's your peak RPM? I don't do that. Drive. Me drive. That's it. But yeah, no. And then Ian Blackett has got a slow motion video of me racing Jacob last week. And obviously Jacob, he made me go early. And on the video, much like John, on the slow motion, it's literally I'm sitting there like this, and I'm just sitting there and I'm waiting for the lights to come down, and I think it gets to the last bit, it gets to the last bulb, 0.2 away, and I just go, whee, and I'm off. Also, I didn't release the button, I just went because it hit the set limiter that we've got on the ECU. So I went, and then on the slow mo, I'm like, no, it's so much. Me chops inside the helmet. Like, no.
What's that then? You got like a limit so you can't burn your torque converter out or something, or?
But I keep burning out the trans brake solenoids.
Oh yeah.
So we set a limit to how long I can be on it for, and then even if I'm holding on, after a certain amount of time it pings off. So now I've ordered some new ones now because essentially I had none spare, so I didn't want to break it. So we set it on a certain amount of seconds. But now I've got my spare in stock. We shall up that so that won't happen again. Fingers crossed, because yeah, it's an inconsistency we don't need. So
that'll get old quick. Yeah.
so, but the thing is, Jacob was I've probably told loads of people before, but Jacob knew about it. So I went into pre-stage. Jacob went pre-stage. I went pre-stage, full stage, hit the button, and then Jacob was like, 1, 2, move in. And by that time, I was already a few seconds into my countdown, and then it just set me off. I was like, yeah. Yeah, just as funny as when John Crawford celebrating the win when Paul Red lit. Yeah, no, that's it. Although, except for because of mine, I launched, and because I'd taken my hand off the steering wheel, I went towards the wall, and I was like, "Oh, jeez!" I managed to grab it in time and get it straight. But yeah, no, it was funny.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, but it was nice. It was nice to actually race because I mean, obviously. I've been racing. I've been with the club for like 16 years, and that's the first ever time I raced Jacob in competition. So we've always been in different classes, or if we were in the same class, his car was broke or my car was broke. So it was nice to get it done.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I just need to, yeah, revenge. Although I don't know if you saw in the video, I don't know if you saw in the finals video. Obviously, Jacob gets back from a run and he's just raced James Hodson, and he comes back. He gives James a nice look because those are the bits. Hopefully, because Phil Blogg said earlier, he goes, "Please don't film me." He goes, "I don't like it." I was like, but then when you do get those moments when like Jacob was giving James a hug and he's like, "Yes," he's like, "I beat you and I beat you in one day." They're the bits that come up, and I don't know if anyone let us know if you watched the videos, the eliminations one. I tried to put a little bit at the back at the end with some slow mos and some music. I mean, it
I haven't actually
well
watched it yet, but it's on my to-do list.
That's it. That's it. Paul Hume says to Dave Henderson, "Are you doing drag days?" Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I so want to see. I still want to run against the six. I want to see it come past me at full power. We'll do that this weekend then, Lee, shall we? There we go. But yeah, no, drag days is going to be good. A few people were asking when are we going to it was Chris Waterhouse. He said, when are we going to release the entry list for drag days? He wants to know who he's going to lose to. And I said, we'll get Spring Speed out of the way, and then we're going to start ramping up the entry. Need to get a few more entries in, and then once we've done that, then we'll release the entry lists and hopefully get a few more
internationals coming for drag days. You know, we got any bites from like Donkey Tech or Thorsten or
the HST boys who are coming over from Austria with the Audi. They're doing door slammers.
The billet block.
Yeah, with the billet block. They're doing door slammers in the 6-cylinder class. If the car's okay and everything goes all right, then they might be leaving it for 2 weeks and doing our heads up as well. Here's something for Tom. Kenneth Michael in the comments says, "I'm here to give my testimony about Dr. Kenneth who helped me with my herpes. Get in contact with Tom Herbert. He can help you." There you go. Boom. Deleted. But yeah, no, yeah, drag day is gonna be good. I just need to get some more entries in for that.
See if you might back out at drag days.
Yes.
Awesome. Always like to see that.
Yes. I mean, I'm not going to lie. A lot of the cars that have entered into the heads-up class are pretty fast. It's going to be pretty impressive. I was actually nagging Alex Lizarak last weekend with the bus. I don't know if anyone was watching the footage from Comp Eliminator. Alex has got the second coming single cab.
Oh yeah.
He went nine flat.
Yeah, he did.
that thing is outrageous. That is, and literally, I mean, I went over to congratulate him on like the 9.5, and he was like, "I just went at 9.0." And he's like, "What's your PB?" And I was like, 9.3, and he was like, "You're well slow." I was like, oh, "What?" But yeah, no, that yeah. Well, no, I mean, no, but his is a pro mod as well. It's not a camper van. I mean, it is basically a built pro mod with an air-cooled engine with a cab on it. I mean, it's still amazing. And there's quite a few people. I think he's already got to the point where people are arguing with him, going, because obviously he's like, "This is going to be the first bus in the 8s," and everyone's like, "It's not a bus though, is it?"
Oh, here we go.
And you're like, "Well, it is." You're just jealous that I've done it before you.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
Have we got Have we got a Pro Mod Part 1 Sack coming out to play?
He's entered Drag Days as well.
Has he? Oh wow.
Yeah, he's entered.
What about a Pro Mod Front Engine Beetle? Do we know if that's close enough? I saw
I don't know if that's close enough yet. Yeah, that looked good. I want to get Sean on here at some point because that's looking really, really sexy. Obviously, we haven't seen the body yet because the body's been. I know his dad was doing the prep work on it, and they had to cut the doors in the side and stuff like that to make, because essentially it's the same funny car body as Andy Raw's, except for they're cutting doors in it to make it a Pro Mod. So, but we haven't seen that. But obviously, the car's looking amazing. It's got
everything he touched look amazing.
Yeah. It's the fact that he makes all the stuff himself. It's just, I don't know if you saw like the billet holders for the nitrous bottles and the parachute stuff. Oh, it looked beautiful.
That's fully sickening.
That's it. And then he scrolls through it, and then you see that Liberty gearbox in the middle, and you're like, yeah, that's a good way to spend like 20 grand on a gearbox.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. And then obviously,
it's gonna work, isn't it?
No, that's it. And I mean, the good thing is, I don't know if some people saw on the in the club forum this weekend, there was a certain pair of brothers who were coming to this weekend. They were looking for pit passes.
Certain pair of brothers that keep sniffing around cars that are for sale.
No, certain pair of brothers that have an electric vehicle.
Oh,
yeah. They tried to they tried to enter Spring Speed. Unfortunately, Ian said no because it was too late. So that means that there's a certain BC4 is ready to rock. Trying to get them on here.
Is that at Drag Days? Heads up.
I believe, hopefully, it will be. They're looking at getting tested in before. Like I said, they wanted to enter this weekend. I was trying to get them on for the show, but unfortunately, obviously I don't know if people saw the thing with Don Gartlett's dragster at the weekend. They kind of didn't want to come on so close to that.
Can they?
Which is a shame.
Get on the test day at Spring Speed because there's still spaces.
No, you have to be entered into the event. So unfortunately, no. So obviously you're doing test day.
Well excited for.
So you're doing test day on Friday.
Yep.
I've already seen a few people like, oh, Goldie's there with you. Daniel Boucher was like, if you need a hand, he's more than happy to come down and help.
Thank you, Dan. Much appreciated.
And I don't know who else is testing on Friday. I know I'm not. I've actually got to work, for once.
We're literally, Goldie's coming here Thursday night. We're loading up. He's going to kip here. I've got Jacobs to take as well, and we're going to be setting off cracker sparrows. Get there, get set up, and just make some passes, do some data logging, and start mapping. And just hopefully, like I say, by the end of the session, if I pull a pro time, I'll be a happy boy. If I pull anything really exciting, then even better.
That's it. And they're the same. I'm much the same. I've got a tow old Pirates car to the racetrack for him because his bundle of rust is not ready yet. So
that's looking good though. That's coming on. At least he hasn't said, "Oh, I'm just going to sell everything," and just get rid of it all.
No, that's it. That's it. Well, of course, he is. We're abusing him because he's out on the bike this evening doing his lycra crad stuff. I mean, I feel bad enough that this is on there now. I should have put an X through that and just deleted him off there.
I think when I was Spring Speed the other year, you'd put me on the cover of that, and you gave me such a hard time because I didn't actually make the event.
That's always the way. I mean, I did the Festival of Power one, and I think there was 6 vehicles on the Festival of Power poster. I think one of them was at Festival of Power. It's always the way. It's always the way. Actually, John Gallant says Chris Poyner is entered. He's doing the test day because he's got the Green Goblin. So another one of our rookies that has entered this weekend. As Mr. Brewster would say, yes, another air cooled, which is good to see. Yeah. So we've actually got 2 new air cools. Phil Blogg says, get the entry list up, Luke. No, because I don't have it, so I can't. That's down to Abby to make it, and then I'll post it. It'll be after this weekend. So again, if you're going to do
for this weekend, fill you in.
Yeah.
Good.
I think we got Bluggo in for the full season.
Awesome.
He's doing well. He's doing well.
Caddy was looking good last weekend.
It was. It was. That's my favourite thing that just popped down on the screen. Kai Bibican just bought a ticket for Door Slammers. Yeah, they're my favourite people. In fact, I'm going to do that because I'm desperate. I'm not desperate, but Door Slammers, European Front Wheel Drive, aka the Facebook page and website that I've got, has sponsored the Door Slammers event. Basically, Santapod come to me and said, "Is there any chance you could sponsor the Door Slammers class?" And I was like, "How much is it?" And they told me how much it was, and I nearly fell over. But I've taken the plunge, and I've paid to sponsor the Door Slammers, and with that I did get some VIP tickets. So obviously I'm raffling them off, and any money that I can get in will go help pay for that because it was a lot of money. And then today I've just randomly spent a lot of money on t-shirts as well. So we've got a trade stand that is going to be at Door Slammers. So again, if anyone wants any European front wheel drive t-shirts, go to the shop. You can order them today. For all t-shirts are set at £18. It says on the bit of writing, I'm not posting any out. They will all be handed out at the Door Slammers, basically because they're all now being screen printed. So back to like the line up and shut up ones that lasted forever.
Still got mine.
That was the mate. Yeah, that's it. Well, the worst thing is I had the original ones done and they were perfect. And then I was on the plane to Malta, and the printing company were like, "Do you want us to print this massive order for you?" And I was like, "Oh, just hold on a minute." Flew out to Malta. COVID started while we were out there, and everything started locking down. And I rang them up and I was like, "Dude, no, don't print." I was like, "I don't want to be spending all that money and just all these t-shirts sitting there." So now that we're coming on the out of it, and obviously when Santapod said, "Can you sponsor the event?" I was like, "Okay, I'll do it." But the only way it's going to be viable is if I get a load of t-shirts paid. So
what's front wheel drive Door Slammer entry looking like? Is that like everything else going to be wait until 2 days before?
As shit as everything else. I mean, this is why. I mean, obviously every week we talk about drag days going, please enter, please enter. But it is the same for every event. Everyone's hurting. People haven't got the spare money, and they're trying to hold on to it to the very last minute, which is kind of understandable. And it's the same for all events. They're just holding on to it, and then I'm pretty sure when we get to like the last week, it's going to rock it up. And I think the same
was exactly
for
the
Door
same.
Slammers.
But you know, like when the deposit system went forward for drag days, it was like, cool, I can put £25 in, secure a spot, don't want to miss out, and you know, support the club and make sure we get their numbers up. So.
No, that's it. But I mean, I genuinely think it's probably the worst year to do European front wheel drive for the front wheel drive class, because I think it is going to be the least European that it's ever been.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, you've probably seen what's going on with main event and stuff like that, and we've got hardly any foreigners coming over, and just I don't see
that as well. And
yeah, I don't see them coming over for Door Slammers. I think Door Slammers is going to be like Door Slammers 1, where it's going to be. Well, I think the front wheel drive class will still have like 30 to 40 cars, but I'm going to say probably 99% of it is going to be British.
Yeah,
It will still be a good fight.
It'd be another good year for the 10-second cars to get in.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I know Ryan Scott's coming over from Ireland with his Civic, and then obviously we've got the Scottish boys. We've got Alan Duffy. Who's the chap with the van who won before?
Oh yeah.
So we've got a few people, and I know Pavel Peachtrack, who had come from Poland last year. He's now built a kind of tube, not a tube. He's put like an 850 cage into a Seat Arosa, but it's done like Jake, completely cut out the whole floor and everything, and just put like an 850 cage in, but with the 750 funny car hoop in it, and again sticking with the diesel on that. So he's like, last year he'd come going, I want to get 9s, and now he's like, I want 8s.
Jesus.
Fair enough. But saying that, have you seen like Helder's car?
The Batmobile. Oh,
Yeah, the Batmobile. I mean, that's coming on. They've entered drag days as well. And obviously, Helder wants to be the first 8-second front-wheel drive diesel. He's going to be ready for Dorset. I think Dorslammers is going to be the first event that they're ready
is
for.
it taking so long because they're just making everything even more quick release to change everything out on that?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, the whole body's quick release.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like they're doing engine swaps in like what 40 minutes at the moment. You know, can they get it down even lower?
I bet they could. I bet they could. Now they're superstars. That team are. Zach Bennett, can I just get a crew of people to push my big gay wing, and then I'll enter drag days.
Cool.
I'm sure you can get a crew of people. You still got to enter, but yeah.
Do it. Index 12. Let's do it.
I thought we were going to be seeing Zach this year.
He's been working on the car. I've seen him post some pictures.
He has. Again, it's like
Love
most
that
things.
car.
Oh jeez.
He's got
Look, there's a Honda boy watching. What's going on? I'm a jam shed is in the house. Maybe he heard us talking about door slammers and stuff
That's
like
exactly what he heard. Yeah.
that. That's exactly what he heard. Well, no, he's working away.
Cars being super competitive. He's there.
No, that's it. No, Ahmed doesn't want 9 seconds. He wants 8 seconds. He's got the new motor. He's got the new motor. The new motor's arrived. I saw him post yesterday on Big Man Team. So he's got some new parts and he's basically bolted them onto a stock engine while he's waiting for the main engine. And then he's like, well, worst case, I'll run a stock engine with the new parts if the other engine hasn't arrived. He says, I want a rematch. Yeah, that's fine. I'll rematch you any day, sir. It was nice beating you twice last time. No, it'd be good. Yeah. The best way to rematch, sir, Ahmed, is enter. Best way, Ahmed, is to enter main event and come and do comp eliminator. In fact, you would do really, really well in comp eliminator because you're. I think the front wheel drive comp eliminator index is 9.5. No one's yet to enter that, and you can go 0.6 under. So technically, you'd be looking for an 8.9 or quicker to move the index. So come and do it.
Simon Crowley entered it a couple of times, but just
he has, yeah.
Car going on that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that car's good. That's another one. It's going to come together at some point.
Oh, definitely. You know, it's another engineering masterpiece, isn't it? It just all needs to work for him once.
No, that's it. I'm hopefully going to get Simon and Stacey on here at some point. Because obviously Simon's been working on his car. I think Stacey's he went all in on the S3, and he's now looking at it going, "Oh my God, there's so much I need to do now." Because he's like flared. He started flaring the arches. I think he's doing work on the engine.
Didn't he change like the wheelbase and everything on it? He went full crazy on it, didn't he?
Yeah, man. And then they've got another car, and I think Luke's car's in the shop as well. That's got James Lord's old vehicle.
Oh, okay.
So James Lord's old Mark II, except for he's got a fiberglass version of Lee Ross's Jetta on the front of it now.
Nice.
So hopefully we'll see that at some point. So come on, Pro Race.
What about Rob Lord's Mark 1? Do we know what that is?
Sitting on a guy's drive, and he won't sell it. So the
using it.
Nah, it's another one of those. He literally bought it. It's going to sit there, and we'll probably look. Rob keeps going by, and he's like, "Can I buy it?" And the guy just ignores him.
Yeah, it'd be like the Major when that turned up a few years ago. Lester got hold of it.
Yeah, that's it. Paul Hume says, "Lord, his old Mark II is still up. Yes, still alive and kicking with a VR6 turbo now. Much improved.
What about
Dan Frost? Jesus, there's another Honda in the house as well. Dan Frost says it's a road car as well now. Okay, well at least if it's a road car, at least it's being used. But
what about
it's just
Sambo's Mark 1? That's still out there somewhere.
Good to go running. I mean, Sambo was in the comments earlier. Yeah, no, David someone. if Sambo's still there, he'll probably put in the comments with angry faces because again, he sold the car and then the guy's just not doing anything with it at the moment. And then he was like, I was chatting to him, and then all of a sudden it stopped.
Yeah, but Sambo's got a fleet of cars that he could be racing, to be honest, doesn't he? I mean, he's got that Mark 1 that he's undergoing some crazy resto with. And then he's bought that
Scabio.
TT and like, yeah, and then he's got the TT and he's like, oh, I've got a gay hairdresser's car for driving around. And then like, the other week it's got new rods, turbo and intake and everything going on it. He just can't help himself. Come racing, Sam.
No, he just put in the comments, I'm here, I'll be back.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I mean, Pirate would be lost without you.
He definitely would.
There's so much of the video. There's so much at Sambo. There's so many. When I was making the video, there's so much of the footage that I filmed of you that I could not use in the video. I sent it to the lads group, and I was just like, literally, I was like, cut.
That's saved in all of our phones for later now, though.
It is, yeah. I mean, that was a perfect one. Paul Hume says, Danny Hyman not got the Mark IV entered for anything. We haven't seen Danny for years. He did say that he was going to get it out. So I know he's been doing like a lot of house renovations and stuff like that. It would really, I mean, again, Drag Days is the perfect event that we could see these cars because they don't need to go and get their race license. They don't need to make sure all their gear is in date and stuff like that. So what you guys need to do, who are watching this, Paul Hume who says Danny Hyman, nudge him. Go, are you going to enter Drag Days? And same with David Henderson today. Posted a photo up with Mark from Awesome. Again, just nudge them. Get Dan Cups to bring that the Awesome Audi TT along. So I want to see them. I want to see all of those guys entering it.
Dan Moulton's Lupo.
Yeah, well, he went and got a job with the he went and got a job with the RAC, and then you had to well, he says you have to put your holiday requests in a year in advance.
Oh, that's no good.
No, that's it. Oh, what? He sold that? That's no good to me. Is he building something else instead? Remember getting rid of from standing behind that kind of dyno and race fuel. Yeah. So hopefully, there's so many cars out there. Again, that's kind of like the idea of Drag Days is there's so many of these vehicles that we see on different days, and I really hope we can get them all to the track for one day. Obviously, we do other shows at Santa Pod where at the end of the day, how do you say it without getting myself in trouble? At the end of the day, we're not in to make a profit from it. We just want to have a good race. So we want to get the best cars together for 2 days to fight out for some cash. We don't need to worry about spectators because we're not putting on a show. It's literally just club members and stuff like that. Whereas other guys have overheads and spectators and stuff to look after. Whereas we're like, no, you're here for a race. And that's it.
Now, let's be honest. None of us do this expecting to make any money of it, but it's a nice bonus when it's there.
No, that's it. I mean, yeah. I mean, hopefully, if everything goes fine and you end up winning the heads up class, and you take two grand home from a weekend's work or 2 days' work.
Yeah, take that all day.
or a grand in your case because you're in index 12.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh well, right, dude. We've gone past an hour, and the wife is messaging me now saying I'm hungry because I raced in the house and was like, "You can't cook because I'm going live." So, and obviously, and then Pirate was like, "I'm going out on my bike, toodaloo." But dude, well, it was nice talking to you anyway. Everyone. Of course, as usual, Ed Keech, your socials.
It's Case Racing UK on Facebook. You can follow me at Ed Keech on Instagram, but I don't post very much on there. But yeah, feel free to pop over. I try and post something every now and then.
Oh, I'm sure now that you're going to be racing again, there'll be a.
Oh,
you posted today. Come on.
I did. I posted the car running, which obviously was the first start and not the 31st start after troubleshooting loads of cars.
Oh yeah, it's the first start of the car. Yeah. Funny how with the first start of the car, everyone's car, vroom, look at that. Always works, isn't it? Aren't we good?
Yeah, I didn't have the crank sensor wired all kinds of wrong and all the ECU configured all kinds of wrong the first load of goes. But yeah, I'm going to chuck a load of pictures on in the next couple of days of all the wiring lube and how it come together and that. And then yeah, from racing, hopefully we'll get some Blackett photos up on there and keep it
Yeah,
going
man.
well.
Oh, that reminds me, I did speak to Mr. Blackett at the weekend, and he did say the VWDRC guys are brilliant. He goes, they always come and buy obviously photos off him and stuff like that. So he wanted to pass on his thanks, of course. If anyone wants to go and buy photos from Mr. Blackett, or if you want to get the what you call it, the slow motion ones, let him know before an event. He can do you a deal for photos and for slow motion videos. So if you ever want to have a look at any data on basically your car launching and stuff like that,
Jacob Bailey should be doing that.
Yes, it's a good idea. Right, let me just look at something for Mr. Blog. Yeah, Mr. Blog, you are correct. There you go. I'll tell Abby. I'll tell Abby in a second, and I'll get that updated for you. Because obviously, feels like how comes I'm not fourth and I'm fifth, and I'm 10 points behind. I'm 10 points above Jonathan Neal. I'll let Abby know because it might be a case of I'm assuming it's just something someone's done. I don't know. Abby makes all those. What have we got in the bottom? Sam Young says only. Oh, what was he saying? He posted somewhere about something. He says only because we need to up it to entries to 6-cylinder class, but that's fine. I'll ask again. Okay, Sam Young said any of you VR6 guys entering the door slammers class in the door slammers 6-cylinder class. What you'll find, Sam, is most of the VR6 guys will be entering the front-wheel drive class, the European front-wheel drive class. But then you might find, obviously, David is in the comments. He's got a 5-cylinder. He'll be in the 6-cylinder / 5-cylinder class. Yeah, so there will be a few of the guys in there. I know Andy Bambrick, he entered the 6-cylinder class last year. I'm sure he did. I'm sure he just surprised us with a 6-cylinder entry class, even though he was front-wheel drive. Of course, Joe Bristow will be in that class with the Volvo.
Love that car.
There'll be a few. I like that. So obviously they've shoved the electric cars in with the 6-cylinder cars. Well, Samuel, it would be, as we said earlier, it would be brilliant to see you back racing. Hopefully we'll get you on here soon. I wanted to try and get you on tonight, so a lot of people got to know your face. Because I mean, me and Ed know, we know you, but there's probably a load of people who are watching in the comments that are just like, "Who's Sam Young?" We know the electric car, but they don't know the face. And hopefully these are a good way of getting people to know faces and names and stuff like that. So yeah,
cool.
That's it. I don't know what David said. Where do we enter? How do we enter? For door slammers, you need to go Santapod's website. You have to enter via their website. Sam Lloyd said, "I just ate 5 sausages." Well done, Sam Lloyd. Sam Lloyd, I love your YouTube videos. Ed, have you seen one of his videos?
I've only seen the one with how much did it cost, but yeah, it really made me laugh.
Have you not? Oh, when you've done this, go to Sam Lloyd's YouTube channel and watch the videos. They are hilarious. He's got one about welding, and they've just got random. I don't know how long you have spent building that car, and you've probably spent just as long getting little videos of like snails crawling along the floor and stuff like that, and going out for a drive. But yeah, I've loved them videos. They've been hilarious. Oh well, right. As I said, the wife's hungry, so I'm going to run.
Cool.
Again, just a plea to you, wonderful people. Door slammers tickets for the European front wheel drive raffle. The draw is on the 12th of May, so we've got ages yet. But please go and get some tickets for us. All of the money basically goes into that prize fund that I've put forward. I have ordered 800 t-shirts today for door slammers. So hopefully when we get to door slammers, you'll come and buy some t-shirts as well. Otherwise, I won't be racing.
So I might as well get another ticket and lose on another one of your raffles.
Yeah, you got someone's got to win at some point.
I know, I'm just not Pirate, am I? You know.
Pirate's not the most winningest either. I think there's a couple other people that have won a lot of the smaller prizes quite a few times. But obviously, Pirate won some damn good prizes, but you never said no. Carl Goldsmith literally just said, "Never say never." I don't know if
Yeah,
Carl
true.
did your wheels turn up today? If not, I think they turn up tomorrow. I know they were in customs at the weekend because we had to
I
pay,
saw
we
the
had to
picture
pay
of them
them.
getting shipped. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to pay the VAT on them today. And again, that raffle did exactly the job. It reminded a lot of people to 32 racing wheels and a lot of the stuff. So yeah. Lawrence Clark says, excellent as usual. Ed, my sponsor has deep pockets. Please rewire my car. Nice. See,
Drop me
see
a
now
PM.
all of a sudden he's like, oh, PM me. Look at the wife. Look, stop bloody talking. I want food. Yes, gentlemen. Right, Ed. Thank you very much. Go and like Case
Thank you very
Racing
much.
on Facebook. Of course, as you can see, as usual, EFWD Luke on Facebook or Instagram will find all of my usual socials. The Lycra boy will be back with me next week. I look forward to seeing everyone at the racetrack this weekend for round number 2 of the VWDRC Championship at Spring Speed Nationals. Catch you later, guys.
Thanks very much. See you later.